Hey guys, I'm just sitting here with this iced coffee. I've just been playing outside with my kids all morning. It's such a beautiful day. I just got them down for their naps, and all that to say, we have finally made it to my favorite part of the year, and I'm starting to feel human again. And by my favorite part of the year, I mean from like May till January 1st. The rest of it, it's all good from here on out. I have a rough time during the winter and early spring months, but anyway, we are through, we are past that. It's beautiful, it's warm, and I'm starting to come alive again. That's what it feels like. So anyway, we are ready for another monthly favorites video. So here we go with my April favorites. And just a little disclaimer explanation. I like to keep my favorites videos focused on things that you don't have to buy. Every once in a while, I'll share like a product or something that you could spend money on, but I like to keep it not very consumeristic. I like to make it like ideas, things that you can do without spending a bunch of money. So anyway, here we go. So my first favorite this month is a TV show that's on Netflix that I don't know how I haven't discovered it sooner, but it is Love on the Spectrum. If you haven't seen it, it's this really just the most heartwarming show. It's just this really adorable show about all these people with autism trying to find love. And I'm a speech therapist. I work with many children with autism. But they're all very young. So I see how autism affects children at that age when they're learning like their speech and language and things like that. But I don't get to work with adults with autism, and it has been the most like insightful thing to see these adults and the way that their autism affects them. I feel like this show does it in a very respectful way where they just show these people's stories, and I feel like it is enlightening to people that aren't familiar with autism and people with autism, and it's really good at just showing their experience, showing their relationships, and in a really respectful way. I think I am loving watching it. I'm loving watching some of these couples fall in love. I'm loving again just hearing their insight and how they talk about how their autism affects them, but how they don't let it define them either, which I think is cool. So anyway, all that to say, I'm loving that show. I'm in the middle of season 2 right now. It's kind of my like feel good show right now that I'm watching, and it makes me feel so good every time I watch it. And I get really emotional too when there's a lot of parents, and I feel like all the parents I've seen so far have just been like so great. But the parents just talking about seeing their adult children fall in love and kind of bloom and just overcome a lot of things. They always get like super emotional, and then I get emotional and I'm crying, and anyway, it's just like so wholesome and so heartwarming, and I love it so much. Highly recommend it. My second favorite this month, and this almost feels like an ongoing joke at this time, but my second favorite is learning to crochet. I can't quite say crocheting yet because I wouldn't quite say that I'm at the point where I can independently and successfully crochet anything, like as far as like something that has a shape like a plushie, but I'm getting it. I'm learning all the basic stitches. The muscle memory is starting to kick in a little bit. I actually haven't crocheted in a couple weeks, so I need to get back to it, but I feel like I'm getting there. I'm at the point where I feel like I could like follow a tutorial and create something. What I want to create, like I want to do like amigurumi, which is basically like plushies. So who knows? I was thinking it might be fun to make some little, since summer's coming up, it might be fun to make some little like farm animal plushies for my kids to play with this summer. So stay tuned. I will keep you posted on this crochet journey that probably no one but me cares about. But it's been a really, like it's been difficult. It's been much more difficult than I thought it would be to learn, but also I'm loving it. And I feel like it's something that I'm going to continue like throughout my life once I get just a little bit more confident with it, but I'm loving it so much. My third favorite is something I'm very excited about, and it's that I think I just shook the camera, but it's that we booked our next Disney trip and I'm so excited. I think I'm gonna do a whole video. Probably my next video is gonna be all about like the very, very early stages of planning a Disney trip and kind of the things that you need to consider and different things like that. That's gonna be coming up next. But just to briefly touch on it, I feel like if you're new here, I'm a huge Disney person. I would call myself more a Disney parent than a Disney adult, but like, I don't know. We're splitting hairs probably on the vocabulary. But anyway, our whole family loves to go to Disney World and we go on average like every other year. And I follow all these creators like YouTubers, TikTokers, different people like that. And I get so jealous because they all seem to go like multiple times a year. And I'm just here to say, like, I don't think that's normal. I don't think most people can afford that. I find myself getting FOMO because our family can only afford to go about every other year. And even then we're like majorly saving for a long time. It's not easy for us to make that work even. So if you're that way too, like, I feel like that's normal. Don't let those big influencers make you have FOMO like they do me. But anyway, that's a whole tangent. But all that to say, we did book a Disney trip. Disney just opened up their 2026 bookings. So I think last week. So we just, in the past week, have been able to plan something for next year. So unfortunately, it's nothing soon. We're still over a year away from it. But I think there's something special about having a really long time leading up to the trip. We can think about it, plan about it, dream about it for longer and make it kind of more special. It is going to be a very long trip. I think it's going to be for us it's going to be long. I think it's going to be like 10 days, which I believe is the longest we've ever gone, or maybe one other time we might have gone that long. But we're doing 2 days in each park plus some rest days. And we're really just going to make it a trip where we can slow down. Because if you saw our Disney vlogs from our last trip, we were only at each park for 1 day, which should probably be fine. But we were trying to pack way too much stuff in. We weren't getting enough sleep. We were pushing ourselves too hard. So next year, we're excited to be able to slow down and take like this epic family Disney trip where we have all the time we need, hopefully, and we can slow down and just really enjoy everything. I hear my baby crying. Let me go try to put him back to sleep. Oh, this happens so often. All right, he is successfully back to sleep, which is a miracle, but we'll see how long this lasts. Anyway, I was talking about planning a Disney trip. So anyway, we booked that trip last week. So that was super exciting. And just starting to make like early plans and just start thinking about it has been so much fun. I cannot wait. I know it's a long ways away, but it's going to be fun, like waiting for it and planning for it. So speaking of theme parks, another thing I've been loving this month is all of the Epic Universe content that I've been seeing from all of my favorite like theme park creators. So Universal Studios in Florida, in Orlando, up until like recently, up until a couple weeks ago, they had 2 parks open well, 3 if you count their water park. But a whole new park just opened. I'm sure you've probably heard of it, but if not, it's called Epic Universe. It looks amazing. There are all these different lands. There's like Dark Universe with classic Universal monsters, which is the one that I am most excited about. There's another Harry Potter land. There's like a Super Nintendo world. And How to Train Your Dragon. And then there's just like this central land. So there's like 5 new lands. There are tons of new rides. They all look amazing. They look like nothing that anyone has ever seen before. So I saw this really funny meme about it that I'll pop up. Like we went to Universal this past summer. Honestly, we did not have the greatest experience, but I am wanting to go so badly now. Luke and I are like, how could we? We kind of just want to do like a weekend trip with just the two of us just to check out Epic Universe. We're like, how can we squeeze this in? We want to go so badly, almost more than I want to go to Disney World because it looks so amazing. I don't think we're going to make that happen, and I don't think we would even want to for like another year or something, because I know there's been a lot of hiccups as it's been getting open. There's been a lot of rides closing. I'm sure it's going to be insanely busy. You have to like reserve things. I don't even know how it works really, but so we would like to wait till it's been open a little longer. But I have been loving like watching everyone's content of Epic Universe, especially Mammoth Club. They are some of my favorite creators. So they've been doing like an in-depth video on each land, and those have been really fun to watch. So that has been a favorite this month too. The weekend they did media previews, I was just like on my phone on Instagram, which is probably not great because I've talked a lot this year about trying to decrease screen time, but it was just really fun hearing everybody's first impressions and seeing everything for the first time. It looks amazing. Like, we will go there someday. I don't know when, but I'm putting it on my bucket list. And it might just win me over to Universal a little bit more. My next favorite is what I have seen influencers on TikTok call Grandmacore, or like, it's kind of like cottagecore, but basically it's just, I don't even know how to, I mean, it looks like a really cute, cozy little grandma's house. And it's like really trendy right now on TikTok, but every time I see it, I feel like my heart is just like full. I feel like this is my aesthetic. I feel like the past couple years I got really into like the minimalistic decorating and like very neutral colors and things like that. But when I see like these videos and pictures of this Grandmacore aesthetic, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's like, if I could design a house and didn't have to, think about it too much, I would just like copy and paste that. I love it. And I know a lot of people, like a big part of that is going thrifting and finding like older pieces that just look really pretty. And so I'm hoping to check out some, because I'm really not a thrifter. I really have not enjoyed it in the past, but like I feel like I've gotten bitten. I have like the urge now. I really want to go thrifting. So I know there's a couple thrift stores in my area that are highly recommended by people. So who knows? Maybe you'll see me thrifting in a future vlog coming up soon. But I just love that so much. I kind of want to just like redecorate. I mean, you can see it's kind of plain colors, not a lot of patterns, a lot of neutrals, which I like that too, but I feel my heart being called towards this more like cottagecore, Grandmacore look. So I might just slowly try to build that up, through thrifting and things like that. I just think it's so homey and cute and beautiful, and yeah, love watching other people do it. And then I can just copy what they do. My sister's an interior designer, but I'm like not good at that stuff. So yeah, I've been on TikTok and I'm like, I want to copy that look and that look and that look. So I'll share that journey, but been loving that lately. Another favorite this month is a book that I read. I do like to share like my favorite books and things on these videos. And I had one 5-star read in April. And I don't know where I was when this book was super popular, but it is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I made a whole video where I tried to predict the ending as the only person on earth who has not read it yet, apparently. But that was a really fun vlog to make. And it was such a good book. If you're like me and you haven't read it yet for some reason, it's about this nanny it's this woman who's like been really down on her luck. She was in prison, just got out of prison, but she's living out of her car for various reasons, and she's desperate for this job. So she is hired and takes this job as this, I guess not a nanny, she's a housemaid, but she also takes care of their daughter. So she's kind of like a nanny too. But as she's living there, she's finding that the woman who she's working for, the mom, the wife, is seems like she's very unhinged. And as you read more and more into the story and find out what's really going on, it was just really good. It was like very bingeable. I read it in just a couple days, couldn't put it down. And honestly, like Frida McFadden's writing is just very simple, a very quick read, very easy read. But I was saying in my vlog, sometimes I want that. Sometimes I just want a book that I can just like consume, not have to think about too much, just take it at face value and enjoy the ride. And that is exactly what The Housemaid was. So loved it. I've heard mixed reviews on like the sequels, so I don't know if I'll read those or not, but The Housemaid itself was very, very good. My next favorite was kind of just like an event that we had this past month, and that was seeing my daughter in Les Mis, which was the high school musical at her school this year. She is 11, so she's not in high school, but they opened up on auditions for some of the kids in elementary school. I think it was like grades 3 through 5 or 3 through 6, because they needed just a few younger kids to be in it, and she made it, and I was very proud of her. She's been in a couple of the other musicals, but those ones she was like only on the stage for like a couple minutes, and this one she was in a lot more, had a bigger part. She was still in the chorus, but it was just a fantastic production. The high schoolers were so talented that were in it. I thought Scarlett did such a good job. I was so proud of her. And I was singing the songs for like the rest of the week. That show is very depressing if you've never seen it before. I was telling Luke like the only other thing that I've ever watched with more main characters dying is The Walking Dead, I think. But it's still, the music is beautiful. I'm not one for like, I don't typically love like shows or movies or things like that are such downers. Like Wicked is my favorite musical, but the music in it is beautiful, and it was really fun seeing Scarlett in it. I'm kind of hoping they do another Disney one next time. I feel like we need something a little more positive. But it was a great experience for her, and I loved watching her. Okay, we've only got a couple more favorites this month. We are rounding up this video. But my next one is my nighttime routine that I've been doing lately. I shared about this in my nighttime routine video that I posted a few weeks ago. But I was finding that I'm just so exhausted after my kids go to sleep. I'm like done. I'm done for the day. I can barely, I want to be done. I just want to sit down, maybe read a book and go to sleep. But I found that when I do that, my mornings are so chaotic. And on the days that I don't work, I feel like it takes us so long to get going in the mornings, when things are like messy and clothes aren't picked out and things like that. So I've decided to, even though I'm exhausted, just take a little bit of time to go through this nighttime routine that I've been doing just to set our mornings up for success. I don't do it every night. I definitely don't do it on the weekends, but I always do it before work days. And that has just made my mornings just very calm and peaceful, and I'm not scrambling around to find things. Everything's like all ready to go for the day. So that has been great. I think I'm going to keep that up. I know I'll probably get more lazy about it in the summer when Scarlett's off school and we don't have to get up early every day and get her on the bus. But I printed it out, laminated it, and like attached it to the inside of one of my cabinets. So I just go through with a dry erase marker every night and mark everything off, and it's really been working well for me. So I've been liking that a lot. And then the last thing that is a favorite this month, sorry, something distracted me. The last thing that is a favorite this month is I always like to share something like parenting related. And my favorite for this applies more to my preteen daughter than to the two little ones, but it's just decreasing screen time. And lately, it's such a hard balance. Leave me a comment down below if you also have a preteen, if you have any tips on having screens and letting them be connected to their friends while also making sure they're safe and not giving them too much time on the screens, because that has been, for me, the hardest part of this stage of parenting, because Scarlett has an iPad where she can text her friends and stuff. She has lots of good friends and they all are able to text her, and she, if she could, I think she's very social. I think she would be just like chatting with them all the time if she could, which I think is great because she is a very shy person. She's a lot like me. I was very shy growing up. And I love to see her kind of coming out of her shell and making lots of friends. But at the same time, it's like I gotta make sure that she is being safe and being appropriate and having good, like, I call it texting etiquette. I feel like it's almost a thing that we have to teach our kids too. But I also don't want her to be on a screen. Yeah, I seriously notice like differences in her and even in myself, like with my moods and stuff, when we're on screens for too long. So anyway, all that to say, I have made a decision that we're gonna, like, for the next few months especially, like when it's beautiful outside during the summer, when she's on break, we are very, very much going to limit the screen time. And it's been a struggle because, you know, like I said, she loves to chat with her friends and stuff, but I feel like it gives us a chance to like really connect. And as a parent, like I have to work harder too when she's not having screens as much because, you know, I just need to make sure I'm connecting with her because she's getting to that age where she'll just kind of just go to her room and hang out and do whatever and be by herself. Unlike my other two who are Velcro babies and like attached to me all the time, at least my youngest one. It's bittersweet when they grow out of that. But yeah, it's been good. And we have lots of plans this summer. Our big thing, and if you're not new here, you probably know I love to color, and she has gotten really into that with me too. So that's kind of like our thing that we do together, and that's been a lot of fun to do that without screens, you know. And I told her we're gonna be cooking and baking. I want to teach her how to do all the things and be like a little more independent with, you know, cleaning and cooking and all that stuff this summer. And we have been talking about making dopamine menus, which is a new thing I learned about. And if you haven't heard of it, it's basically you make a menu and there's different categories like starters, entrees, things like that. And they are activities, ideas that you can write down that when you're feeling that urge to scroll on your phone, instead of doing that, you have to replace that behavior with a different behavior. So, I think instead of scrolling my phone, maybe one of my items on my dopamine menu would be go take a walk or bake something or have a coloring session or crochet or something like that. Oh, my throat's getting dry from talking so much. But I think Scarlett and I are both gonna sit down one day and just kind of like make a fun little activity of it together, and we're both going to make dopamine menus. And then over the summer, when we're feeling bored, when we're feeling that itch to get on our screens more, we can both look at those dopamine menus and come up with ideas to do together. So that's been really fun, just kind of connecting more with her. It is hard having an age gap like that where I have one older one and two very small ones. I feel like the little ones need me and need my attention, where she's a lot older and more independent, and I do not want her to fall through the cracks. So it's been really good just being intentional about focusing on spending quality time with her and really focusing in and listening and connecting and finding these fun things to do together that don't involve screens. I feel like I've been rambling about that for a long time, but yeah, it's been something that's been very important to me lately. So anyway, I think that rounds out all of my favorites for this month. Hopefully you heard something in there that gave you an idea or inspired you, or, you know, even if it's just something fun to watch or read. And I'm so excited to be moving into my favorite part of the year. Like I said, from May until August, love it. Then after summer, I love fall even more, and then I love Christmas time even more. So we made it through the hard part, at least in my opinion. So I'm very excited to be moving into better days ahead, I'm gonna say. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys next time.